Okay, today we're going to dive into something really incredible. It's this amazing blend of art, technology, and, doing good for the planet. It all kicks off with a pretty simple question about what we throw away. And the answer? Well, it could totally change how we think about waste. Right. We all see solar panels as these shining symbols of a clean future. But have you ever stopped to think about what happens when they get old? When their job is done? What's the final chapter for the very tech that's supposed to be saving us? So get ready for this number, because it's a big one. By 2050, we're looking at a mountain of over 78 million metric tons of solar panel waste. I mean, think about that. It's a huge irony, right? The solution to one environmental problem is creating a whole new one. But here's where the story takes a really cool turn. Instead of seeing all that waste as just garbage, as an endpoint, this project sees it completely differently. As a canvas, really, just waiting for a second act. So how in the world did this idea get started? Well, like a lot of brilliant things, it wasn't some big corporate plan. It was just a problem and a conversation between two people. So picture this. Luis A. Escobedo, one of the co-founders, has this broken solar panel. He looks at it, and instead of trashing it, he calls up an artist, Zachary B. Kahn, and asks a simple question. Hey, can you make art out of this? Zachary didn't just say yes. He created this, Caminos el Sol, the very first piece. And just like that, a movement was born. And the system they came up with is just beautiful. It's a perfect circle, so solar companies donate their old panels, an artist gets their hands on it and turns it into something amazing. Then, and this is key, that physical art is connected to a digital token, an NFT on the blockchain. When that art is sold, the money is automatically sent to fund social projects. So waste becomes art, and that art creates real-world impact. Now, for a system like this to really work, you need trust. I mean, 100% trust. How do you prove where the art came from? How do you know the money is going where they say it is? Well, this is where the tech gets super smart. The whole thing hinges on this idea of a real-world asset, or RWA. The easiest way to think about it is like a digital deed for a physical thing. The actual artwork hanging on your wall has a digital twin on the blockchain that can't be faked or changed. It's a permanent link. So what's actually stored in this digital certificate? It is so much more than just a picture of the art. The NFT holds its entire life story, before and after photos, the panel's original serial number, exactly what sustainable materials were used, and even proof that the artist stuck to the project's ethical rules. And, maybe coolest of all, it activates your voting rights. That level of transparency carries right over to the money. The second a piece is sold, something called a smart contract, which is basically just automated code, kicks in and splits the payment. Exactly as you see here, 45% to the artist, 35% to the gallery, and so on. No waiting, no middlemen, it's just automatic and completely verifiable. Okay, so what is it actually like to own one of these pieces? Because this is about way more than just decorating your house. It's about joining a movement. Yeah, the whole idea here is to completely change what ownership means. It's not passive anymore. When you own the art, you literally own a piece of the project's future. You get a say. And what does that look like in practice? Well, your NFT gives you real voting power. You help choose the next artist who gets a panel, or the next social cause that gets funding. You're getting invites to private events. You're getting reports on the impact your purchase made. You're not just a customer, you're a genuine partner. All right, there's one last piece of this puzzle that really ties everything together. It's how you permanently, physically connect the art to its digital story. This is what closes the loop. And here's how they do it. Every single piece of art gets its own unique physical tag, like a QR code or an NFC chip. You can just walk up to it, scan it with your phone, and boom, its entire history is right there. Its origin, its artist, its whole journey, all verified on the blockchain. So just to be super clear, when you get one of these, you own two things. You get the physical masterpiece itself, and you get the digital NFT, which is its unchangeable proof of ownership. You own the asset, and you own its story forever. I think this quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's such a powerful way to look at it. We're not talking about the end of life for these things. We're talking about an evolution into something new, something beautiful, something with a totally new purpose. In the end, the second life of solar is so much more than an art project. It's really a blueprint for the future. It proves that our waste doesn't have to be waste. With a little imagination, it can become the very thing that funds the next wave of solutions. It kind of makes you wonder, what else are we looking at as an ending when it could be a brand new beginning?